streaming. Once again, salute to everybody that's here on this Tuesday. We're going to talk about a video that I came across. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do a video response or a live stream response. But I wanted to do a live stream response. And listen, I'm not here to attack this gentleman. I'm just here to speak on the mistakes that he made and how men should avoid them. But you know, there's a group of men that want to shame you when you say that you don't want marriage or you don't want to be the father of another woman's children. They will actually shame you for that. Women too. But you got to understand that there's going to be a woman who already feels some type of way about you stepping into that role. Deep down, they don't respect you. And a part of themselves have to compromise themselves to be with you because they really don't want to be with you, but their options are not the best. They really want to be with those children's fathers. But those children's fathers weren't capable of any type of decent, monogamous, long-term relationship. Salute to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream. Let's see who's here early. True, Kyle, 25 Kid, Jorge, Sydney, Vern 85, True, Mellow Bird, that's a paddling, Mason, Dwayne, Falcon DX, Zeke, Love Ease the Soul, The Loving Homes, JFW Harold, Petway Boy, Langan, Robert Tuku, Hezekiah Almighty, Kalisis. Like the stream, people. It's good, Corey. Again, I know it's been a minute. I haven't streamed since last week. I just had a busy weekend. I haven't really been putting out too much video content. But when you see a situation that happens, I'm going to set aside time to really address it. Salute to the moderators here. Salute to the channel members. Salute to the Patreons. I put up a new Patreon video. It was yesterday. Make sure y'all go and check it out. I want people to understand something in regards to the things I speak on. You know, people send me all types of things. I can only get to certain things at a certain time, right? Or certain topics may not fit what I'm doing. Because to me, the topic can be relatively redundant, so to speak. And I'm not the type of person to talk about the same thing over and over and over. I like to talk about different subject matter, different people, you know. And there are going to be situations I address that I may not address on YouTube. I may address it on Patreon because you got to understand certain topics I have to address in a certain way that I can't do it on YouTube. Like there are people that wanted me to speak on the mother of the two males that killed the female police officer. I will address that at some point. I just don't know how. Shout out to Trevon. Appreciate it. Samurai, Wood 2K, Black Gator, Robert Lee, Steven, Brent, Capital. You know what's getting crazy? The homelessness is getting crazy. Even in a small state like mine, the homelessness is getting out of control. And it's a lot of white people I'm seeing homeless. It ain't just black people. I've seen hardly any black people. Black people gonna find a place to stay. So when you have these idiots talking about a white supremacy, I don't see it. Okay, I don't see it. But in regards to this particular topic here, this is an example of somebody who thought they were smart and they could understand a situation. They really wanted to show that, you know, he could be the guy, right, that picks up the slack. that helps them in their time of need. You got to understand, once again, women don't respect that. I know some of you guys feel like, women are going to embrace you for doing what other men won't do. But you got to understand you're being suckered, especially when you put a bunch of financial investment into that. You have to get a read on the woman that you're with, because that woman could be playing you the whole time, and you have to see those signs. So there are signs that a woman is using you. If every conversation is about money, she's telling you the things that she would want financially, you got to understand you're being played. You're being played. And I don't want you guys to end up in situations where you're getting played. I really don't. I want you guys to be able to be successful out here, because it's difficult out here, man. It really is. People don't, there's no good energy out here anymore. It seems like there's some, but there's a lot of bad energy out here. And when it comes to somebody that you're having a relationship with, you got to get a read on that energy. Now, it also depends on, a lot of times, these guys come from 2-parent households where they think that, if I marry her and wife her up, maybe things will change. Shout out to Liana. Says, hey, JDB and family, here's my late fee. Thank you for the late fee. Appreciate it. What's going on, Garrison, Pan-African, Paris? Obi, what's going on? Like the stream, people. We gonna get into this video. What's good, Charm? Doing well. I want y'all to understand that this society is crumbling, and is due to the nonsense that people have been fed for quite some time. There's a lot going on in the world, and we worry about things that really don't matter. Now, people may look at my content and say, well, that doesn't matter. You talk about this celebrity and that celebrity. I made a video the other day about, yes, a woman that was on Instagram, but she's still a civilian. She's not a celebrity. And she talked about how she's struggling to find a boyfriend, even though she had $20,000 worth of surgery. That is the reality, is that people cannot connect. People cannot have solid relationships anymore. So they're left to hop on the internet. I have no doubt that's probably where he met this girl. I bet you this guy in the video that I'm going to show, I guarantee you he may have met her on the internet. You have to be careful the type of women you bring into your life, man. A lot of these women are energy vampires, man. They will suck out any type of good spirit in you, and they will destroy you. If a woman senses that you are a good, decent man, they're going to destroy that, because they've never known any good, decent men in their life. So you have to understand that do good deeds for good people, but you also have to read people. You cannot be throwing your money deep into a relationship with somebody that you don't even know whether wants to be with you like that. You guys are throwing money into a situation. You're investing in somebody else's situation. These women have never stopped loving their baby's fathers. They will always love those men. They will always like other men. But those men will always be their first love, man. And these single mothers get upset when men say they don't want to date you, but they never want to understand the root of why these men don't want them. They never want to understand, okay, what is it? What is being put out here? What's being put out here is that you're having children at a young age. You're having children in your late teens, early 20s. You got some women that, man, they got 3 or 4 kids. They're not even 24 yet. Some have 5 kids, about 25 with 5 kids. And they still think that because they still have a nice body and they still visibly, have their looks, that they're going to find somebody else. They got like 4 or 5 kids with like 2 or 3 different babies' fathers, never been married. And the thing is, you got single mothers that will play games with you. You know? And the thing is that I want y'all to understand that. And also, okay, let me say this too. You know, one of the craziest things I've seen is that people want to claim anything as red pill nowadays, right? No, it's not. A lot of people are very misinformed. Even when it comes to men going their own way, people are very, very misinformed. Okay? I wish people stop being misinformed. Men should always prioritize themselves first, especially when they don't have children. But you see, society tells you that you should prioritize women. Nope. That has never been anything that I've told anybody. Never prioritize. The women will come eventually. You get yourself together. You get yourself in the best shape possible. You're out here financially killing it. The women are going to notice. Women notices that successful man energy. They do. But you got some of these guys that are being like, I ain't red pill. Get all the women you can get. You know, and I've seen something to where they're trying to call, I guess, celebrities now red pill when they deal with women. You know, there's so much misinformation about the red pill. That's why I wish people stop talking about it, because some of these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Stop speaking on ideology you know nothing about. Some of you look crazy out here. And I know you got these goofy heifers that's speaking on shit they don't understand. And they look crazy. Some of you don't know the definition of anything. Because you have a loser spirit. Okay? You have a loser mentality with a loser spirit. You wake up every day hating yourself. And you get on social media giving misinformation. You don't know what you're talking about. Just completely bugged out of your mind. You're a lost cause. Some of the stuff I be seeing and hearing, I'm like, oh my God. But we're gonna get into this video. Let's get into this video from this guy. Make sure y'all like the stream. I want to make sure I wait till as many people get, because y'all know people like to show up at my shows late. They got the notification, right? They got the notification, and then they say, I'll watch it later. Then they come and stream. Can you replay the video again? No, not replaying the video again. You should have been here when the notification went out if you got it. But you know they got the notification. You know? Let's check out this video from this unfortunate gentleman.
You know, y'all are really starting to piss me off with the disrespect. Like, it's really not even funny. I'm going to tell you like this. I got a son. Biologically, he's not mine. But I raised him from day one up until he was 15 months old. It didn't take me long to realize how good of a person you had to be a parent, how good of a person you had to be, and realize that it wasn't about me the moment I cut his umbilical cord. But you want to sit here and tell me that I'm bitter or whatever. But yet here it is. You sit here and you don't know my situation. But here, let me give you a small synopsis. I raised a kid from day one that wasn't mine. I made sacrifices for him. I opened him up a savings account. I gave his mother all of my income tax money when I claimed both of them. Guess what? At the end of the day, I lost my fucking car. She got an iPad, an Apple Watch, and a cell phone out of me. And on top of that, I am in tons of debt now for sacrificing and taking care of a child that I didn't make. But you sit here and tell me that I'm angry and bitter and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about by telling the truth about this? Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he had his moment of red pill clarity. In a sense. And let me just say this too about red pill ideology. You know, dating and relationships are only a small portion of it. You got the political, social, economic red pilling. A lot of people go from having a broke mentality to a I want to be a rich mentality, right? And red pilling dating in women is a small portion of that. This is a small portion. See, this small portion became a big portion when he included money, when he's talking about utilizing money out of his accounts, buying gifts, right? Funding a whole lifestyle. Every aspect of his life was ruined. Okay. Every aspect of his life was ruined. So shout out to Zeke, Livestream Media, got a hold of that red pill label, late as hell, and called themselves running with it. What's the BS?
The Livestream Media got a hold of that red pill label late as hell and call themselves running with it. On some BS.
Yeah. Misinformation. Okay. Whatever fits the narrative. What we don't understand, we attack. That's what goes on. I see it on YouTube. What they don't understand, they attack. Right? And they got to understand is that, especially with this guy, the financial portion of his life was ruined by the women he was with. It wasn't just he went through a bad breakup and he's bitter. He invested money and time and effort into this woman and her child. And what did he get out of it? Debt and a broken heart.
Y'all are really starting to piss me off with the disrespect. Like, it's really not even funny. I'm going to tell you like this. I got a son. Biologically, he's not mine, but I raised him from day one up until he was 15 months old. It didn't take me long to realize how good of a person you had to be a parent, how good of a person you had to be, and realize that it wasn't about me the moment I cut his umbilical cord. But you want to sit here and tell me that I'm bitter or whatever. But yet here it is. You sit here and you don't know my situation. But here, let me give you a small synopsis. I raised a kid from day one that wasn't mine. I made sacrifices for him. I opened him up a savings account. I gave his mother all of my income tax money when I claimed both of them. Guess what? At the end of the day, I lost my fucking car. She got an iPad, an Apple Watch, and a cell phone out of me. And on top of that, I am in tons of debt now for sacrificing and taking care of a child that I didn't make. But you sit here and tell me that I'm angry and bitter and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about by telling the truth about this? Wow.
How much you want to bet? It's probably dudes that you got a lot of women that probably come at him because he's probably going off on Facebook. Facebook, the first place we go when we're upset, right? I want y'all to understand, man. Hold on. Before I get into my commentary, I'm going to let y'all listen to him one more time, and I'm going to get into my commentary so y'all can really get a clear viewpoint, so I have to keep stopping and starting.
Y'all are really starting to piss me off with the disrespect. Like, it's really not even funny. I'm going to tell you like this. I got a son. Biologically, he's not mine, but I raised him from day one up until he was 15 months old. It didn't take me long to realize how good of a person you had to be a parent, how good of a person you had to be, and realize that it wasn't about me the moment I cut his umbilical cord. But you want to sit here and tell me that I'm bitter or whatever. But yet here it is. You sit here and you don't know my situation. But here, let me give you a small synopsis. I raised a kid from day one that wasn't mine. I made sacrifices for him. I opened him up a savings account. I gave his mother all of my income tax money when I claimed both of them. Guess what? At the end of the day, I lost my fucking car. She got an iPad, an Apple Watch, and a cell phone out of me. And on top of that, I am in tons of debt now for sacrificing and taking care of a child that I didn't make. But you sit here and tell me that I'm angry and bitter and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about by telling the truth about this? Wow.
See, people, I want y'all to really understand this gentleman's predicament. He got with a woman that was pregnant, is what it seems like to me. Now, there was a video on WorldStar where there was a woman that was clearly pregnant, right? She was talking about how now she's single. She's not with the child's father that she's pregnant by. And that she thinks that it's okay for pregnant women to start dating new men. And it's clear that this guy started to date a female that was already pregnant. Now, I don't know how pregnant she was, but you're only pregnant for 9 months. You're pregnant for 9 months. Okay. So, did he start dating her when she was early in her pregnancy, in the middle of her pregnancy, or late in her pregnancy? Were y'all friends? Were you courting her? Did you not know she was pregnant? Did she tell you after the fact? But you have to look at that, bro. Any woman that's out here dating while they're pregnant is a woman that you shouldn't be trusting. And again, I might play that video while I'm live and show you the woman. And make sure y'all get the likes up too. Get the likes up. Share this stream. People need to hear this. She's talking about, and she's not a bad looking woman at all. Okay. I don't think she's going to have a problem finding one of you suckers. I mean, one of you guys to wife her up, to date her, to wine and dine her. Okay. She ain't going to have no problem. You got these pregnant women out here dating men that aren't the child's father. You have to be really scummy or really thirsty as a woman to do that.
This is the type of crap that happens to nice guys. Lesson learned, and I bet it's bunch of effers talking about he is bitter.
Right. Appreciate that. No, he said he cut the umbilical cord. So he was there before she had that baby. So he dated her while she was pregnant. Because he said he cut the umbilical cord. He was there from day one. That's what he said. So he was dealing with a pregnant woman. Unless she's a woman that didn't show very much. And the thing is this, man. You have a society where these guys are getting manipulated and played left and right, and they cannot read these women. Like, was she that attractive to the point to where you couldn't read her? You couldn't see the signs that maybe she ain't for me? That maybe, you know what? Why is she moving so fast? She's pregnant by another man. Bro, any woman that's pregnant and out here in these streets, you need to avoid. Because any pregnant woman with sense would not be trying to date new men while she's pregnant. But she got a hold of you who was willing to financially support her. Right? Is willing to financially support her. And again, it takes a special kind of thirst to want to be with somebody who has a baby by another man, and you're there and you're claiming them as yours. I'm not going to do that. So, Chantel, if you like the stream, if you really want to date this female, or you want to date any woman that is pregnant, you need to wait. I would wait. I'm not trying to be there day one, cutting umbilical cords, signing no birth certificates. I'm not doing none of that crap. I'm not trying to save nobody. Save yourself. Why aren't you with the child's father? Why are you dating while you're pregnant? And he's setting up savings accounts for the little one, buying her Apple products, which are not cheap, probably the newest iPhone, right? Buying the newest iPhone. She's using that new iPhone that you bought her to go and text and call other men. Wouldn't be surprised if she was cheating while she was with him. Because it just seems like this, how does a woman get this guy taking care of her, putting up money for her child, because it ain't his child, it's her child, right? And then the relationship just falls apart. And he said people are calling him bitter. It seemed to me that she got bored because you didn't see the red flags. I'm not dating no pregnant woman. I'm sorry. Why aren't you with the child's father? See, the problem is a lot of these westernized women are throwing their box around to any guy that they're attracted to. And they'll do two things. They'll go get an abortion or they'll have the child. Depending on how religious they are, depending on if they are against abortion or whatnot, they'll keep it. But you also don't need to be out here dating. Okay? This guy says he was there from day one. He cut the umbilical cord. He was the father from day one. He claimed responsibility for somebody else's child. Where was the father? It's like Dr. Dre's daughter. Dr. Dre's daughter got 4 children by I'm assuming other men. I'm not, I don't know 100%, but I'm sure they're probably from different men. So you want your father to take care of you and your children, the children that you had with these other guys. You want him to be responsible for. See, that's the mentality. Women have this next man up situation, right? When this relationship doesn't work, it's the next man up. Who can I put in that situation? Well, how about you avoid these situations? Stop dating women that are pregnant. Don't be there to cut no umbilical cords, okay? Don't be there to be her knight in shining armor, because that situation has danger written all over it. And you're putting yourself in a bad situation by trying to wife this chick up, man, because you never know. These women feel some type of way about guys trying to come to the rescue, man. They don't respect you. They don't. I know that hurts some of your feelings. I see how these single mothers act. They have this mentality of, and I'm telling you right now, I sense it. Like, why would you want me as a single mother type mentality? But it's underneath the surface. You can't really see it, but it's there. Because they say to themselves, I have these kids by other men. Why would you want to step in, To them, that's not alpha. I'm just telling you off my interaction. These westernized women want men who don't have children, who don't have their own situation. They want those men to pick up the slack. Do not pick up no slack for these heifers. Under no circumstances do you pick up any slack. Let them live the life that they want to live, right? That's going to be without my financial assistance. That's going to be without me trying to play stepdaddy. Again, y'all are adults. You can do whatever you want to do. But this guy here, put him back on the screen. This guy here is an example of what you don't do.
That's nasty. A pregnant woman dating? Mixing men's seeds with a seed already planted? Nauseated face.
Right, Ednice. That's what's going on, man. That's exactly what's going on.
He should be happy now, much better than paying child support for 18 to 20 years.
Yeah, that's true, but he messed up his credit. I don't know how bad he messed it up, but he must have messed it up pretty badly trying to be a family man. This guy looked like he could be no older than maybe in his early to mid 20s, and he's playing family man. It's not going to work these days. These women don't respect these stepdaddies. I'm telling y'all. It's very rare that these women are going to embrace you guys trying to play stepdaddy to them, especially when they're pregnant and you're courting them. Like, what's going on here? And I know people are not going to like this, but this is reality. I know y'all don't want to believe it. And I know there are going to be women that are going to disagree and say I'm wrong. Am I? Would you be happy with a man who dates you while you're pregnant and is with you through the birth and is there to take care of you and your child? Are you really going to respect a man like that after a while when you can get back out in these streets and you're around your friends and, you know what I'm saying, you maybe see your exes on Facebook and you reminisce about the good times you had with them and how much different they are than the guy that you're with? Come on, man. Y'all can't play that game with me. You can play that game with these guys that have these dream scenarios in their mind that they're going to save these women and they're going to do what other men won't do. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works. It's not going to work out. Maybe some situations it may. It just depends on the mentality of the woman and why she is a single mother in the beginning. A lot of women are widows. They got women that are divorcees, right? They were in a whole relationship marriage for a long time. They have children. That happens. But you have women who've never been married, and you got women that haven't been in a relationship longer than a year. Okay. and they have a whole bunch of kids all over the place. But this guy is hurting, but you got people shaming him for speaking out. I think more men need to speak out. You know, there's a lot of men like this. There's a lot of men who play stepdad have gotten their situations messed up playing stepdaddy. And listen, y'all are adults again. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you run into a situation like this, man, you got to look at it as, you know what? I was wrong. I thought I could do differently. She's told me that I was this alpha male and, you know, I was better than all these other men, who didn't want to step up to the plate. Don't fall for that. Do not fall for that, because it's propaganda. That's what it is. Stop letting people shame y'all into accepting. Okay, here it is. Here's the video here of the female here. Let's see, where is it? This is the video here of the pregnant woman. It's the pregnant woman, y'all, that says that, she says that she wants to know, is it okay for a pregnant woman to date? She says she was against it, but now she's for it.
Okay, so as you guys know, I'm pregnant. 14 weeks now.
14 weeks.
So I'm not with the child's father.
Father.
I mean, that's like a whole nother story. We'll get to that. But is it okay to date while pregnant? Like, I just want to know, like, men and women, like, what's y'all take on this? Like, because, I mean, there's some wannabe stepdaddies out there, but do y'all feel like it's weird? Because I kind of feel like it was weird at first. I haven't started dating yet, but I feel like it was weird at first. Like, I got a belly. You looking at me like that? Like, what does that mean? So tell me, is it okay for me too?
Wait a minute. They're looking at you and they're looking at your belly and they're like, what's up? Some of you guys, are y'all out here? Are y'all attracted to pregnant women? Don't tell me y'all guys are out here being heavily attracted to these pregnant women, man. What is going on? What y'all into, man? What are y'all into? Y'all out here being attracted to a pregnant woman? This is clearly a female who I'm sure has gotten her fair share of attention. She's somebody that people would probably date regardless of her situation, right? I wanted y'all to see this because this is the mentality now. You got women that say, well, I was against dating new men when I was pregnant, but not anymore. They're all for it. They're all for dating men while they're pregnant. Yeah, there are some men that got a fetish for that. Got to, right? Yeah, some of these dudes do got a pregnancy fetish. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have a fetish for pregnant women because there's a certain stereotype about pregnant women in their box, but we're not gonna get into that. That's a whole nother conversation, right? It's a whole nother conversation. But there are men that are into that. But you got women that says, they're not going to let pregnancy stop them from being in the streets. They're not going to let pregnancy stop them from having the life that they want to have. You got women that are pregnant, and I bet you they are still drinking, and I bet you they are still going to clubs.
So if they are calling this man bitter, what are they calling the woman that played him? OMG, he fell for the weave and the nasty nails.
Right. Appreciate that, man. What's going on, Team Malone? Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream, man. Let's play this again.
Okay, So as you guys know, I'm pregnant, 14 weeks now. So I'm not with the child's father, you know. I mean, that's like a whole nother story. We'll get to that. But is it okay to date while pregnant? Like, I just want to know, like, men and women, like, what's y'all take on this? Like, because, I mean, there's some wannabe stepdaddies out there, but...
Wannabe stepdaddies. How many of y'all want to be a stepdaddy? How many of y'all want to be a stepdaddy today? Oh, man.
I feel like it's weird because I kind of feel like it was weird at first. I haven't started dating yet, but I feel like it was weird at first. Like, I got a belly. You looking at me like that? Like, what does that mean? So, tell me.
No, man, listen, man, we don't need more women getting pregnant out here just to test the dating market. Because I know women are trying everything, man. A lot of these women are trying everything to get a man out here, man. So we don't need women getting pregnant on purpose and then being single to see if they can snag the guy that they want. They got pregnant by this Pookie and Ray Ray, and then and then they want to go look for a Carlton. They want to go look for an upstanding, supportive guy, nice guy, gentleman, right? We don't need y'all doing that, but a lot of these women are doing any and everything to get a man. It's crazy. It's like, we need you to do any and everything to not get pregnant by a man that you don't see yourself being with down the line. Why are you getting pregnant by men and then breaking up with them? Like, that's crazy. And then they be so casual about it, like it's nothing. They're like, oh, well, I got pregnant by some guy I was having a casual relationship with. It is what it is. I'll find some guy to be a stepdad. Like, that's the mentality that these women have. That's why the black community has an overabundance of single mothers, because they have this mentality that as long as I look good, as long as the assets are big, there'll always be somebody there to play stepdaddy. That's their mentality. That's why you have so many single moms in this community. They always feel like there's going to be another man that's going to take responsibility, and it never happens most of the time. It never happens. These guys come along, then they realize, man, I ain't want no ready-made family, and they get out of there. They get out of there. And then these women get even more bitter on social media. That's why you see women so bitter, especially single mothers. They angry at the world. But you should be angry at yourself for getting pregnant by a man that you did not have a long-term relationship or marriage with. You got women getting pregnant by guys that they're just sleeping with. Like, they have low standards. Their standards are super low.
Nah, they looking for a Russell Wilson while
they want a Russell.
budget rolling on the floor, laughing,
right,
rolling on the floor,
they
laughing.
They want a Russell Wilson. It's never gonna happen. Say it with me. It's never gonna happen for y'all. I don't care how much you try to follow the Sierra blueprint. Let me tell you something about Sierra. Sierra probably would have dated anybody that was the opposite of Future, as long as they were the opposite of Future. Okay? A lot of other women aren't going to do that. They want the guy that they're with to have swagger and be 6'5" and chiseled and have about 5 baby mamas, at least 5. He has to be in the streets, but a bit reformed. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for somebody that's a bit of a square, so to speak, right? They're not looking for a guy who stays out of trouble, doesn't have baby mamas. They're not looking for those guys. I don't care what these women saying. They don't find Russell Wilson appealing whatsoever. If Sierra would have never gotten with Russell Wilson, they would be clowning him and calling him either weird or saying that, he's lame. But because Sierra got with him, it gave him that credibility. But make no mistake about it, they don't find anything appealing about Russell Wilson whatsoever. Because there's a lot of guys like Russell, but they don't want those guys. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Salute to everybody that's here. You can't fool me with this nonsense about women wanting better. You're not doing better. You're doing worse. A lot of y'all are down extremely bad. A lot of y'all are doing bad out here, and you have nobody but yourselves to blame. Let's play this video again.
Okay, so as you guys know, I'm pregnant, 14 weeks now. So I'm not with the child's father, you know. I mean, that's like a whole nother story. We'll get to that. But is it okay to date while pregnant? Like, I just want to know, like, men and women, like, what's y'all take on this? Like, because, I mean, there's some wannabe stepdaddies out there, but do y'all feel like it's weird? Because I kind of feel like it was weird at first. I haven't started dating yet, but I feel like it was weird at first. Like, I got a belly. You looking at me like that? Like, what does that mean? So, tell me.
It means that some of these guys may have a fetish for you, or they might think that you're vulnerable. You know, you're a single woman and you're pregnant. They may see an easy opening, right? To I don't know, man. I don't know what some of these guys be thinking sometimes. You know, when I see some of the choices that these guys make and the women that they get with, and they be complaining later on. This is crazy, right? Oh, yeah, and speaking of down bad, I want to mention this while I was live. I know some of y'all know who the pink pill is, right? Speaking of down bad, you got these women, right, who worship other groups. This is probably going to be another segment. It's going to be another stream, right? I'm going to talk about you worshipers of Caucasian and non-melanated men and how you have ruined your life and you ruin the life of other people around you. You got to understand, you have one time to make a good first impression on men. And if y'all make a bad first impression on men, it never goes away. A lot of these women have made a very bad, they've made a very bad impression with men to the point to where they're all bitter. They're all angry. They're all hateful, right? They're all just in an extremely bad place in life. A lot of y'all females are in a lot of, you're doing bad out here. And y'all want to blame us for the fact that y'all are doing bad out here. It's crazy. Y'all want to blame us because you can't get a man, but you're worshiping men and you're taking crap for them. You're allowing them to call you the N-word and all this other things. Y'all know what's going on out here, man. Gotta tell y'all that. It's crazy. Y'all are so desperate. But anyway, this not what the stream about. I'm gonna get into this on the next stream. I just want to give y'all a little quick teaser on that. Let me go back to this video here. I'm gonna replay this one more time, and then I'm gonna take phone calls.
You know, y'all are really starting to piss me off with the disrespect. Like, it's really not even funny. I'm gonna tell you like this. I got a son. Biologically, he's not mine, but I raised him from day one up until he was 15 months old. It didn't take me long to realize how good of a person you had to be a parent, how good of a person you had to be, and realize that it wasn't about me the moment I cut his umbilical cord. But you want to sit here and tell me that I'm bitter or whatever, but yet here it is. You sit here and you don't know my situation. But here, let me give you a small synopsis. I raised a kid from day one that wasn't mine. I made sacrifices for him. I opened him up a savings account. I gave his mother all of my income tax money when I claimed both of them. Guess what? At the end of the day, I lost my fucking car. She got an iPad, an Apple Watch, and a cell phone out of me. And on top of that, I am in tons of debt now for sacrificing and taking care of a child that I didn't make. But you sit here and tell me that I'm angry and bitter and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about by telling the truth about this? Crazy, wow.
Man. It's crazy, man. And I bet you there was some males mixed in there too, shaming them. Like, y'all males ain't been in this situation before because you're so female identified. You know, you don't see it. You really don't see it. Let's put the phone lines in here. We're going to talk about this. I hope y'all keep these calls brief, man. I don't want to have to cut nobody off. I'm going to cut somebody off. Call this line, trying to be on the line all day. Other people want to call in. Let me hear y'all. I ain't heard from y'all in a minute. See what y'all got going on. Calling the show. See what y'all got to say about this BS. Yeah, y'all know some males were sprinkled in there. Y'all know some males were sprinkled in there, probably crapping on the guy. That's probably why he went off. Because he probably is predictable that women was going to say something. But when you see males getting at you for this, for speaking out, you know, like I see it all the time. I see a bunch of Captain Saver hoes all over the place. Captain Saver heifers all over the place. Oh, my relationship is great. My marriage is great. Y'all need to catch up. Y'all need to get on my tax bracket. Y'all need to make my type of money, and you'll be able to have a wife like mine. As if you weren't successful, that chick would be there. No, she wouldn't, sir. That chick would be gone too. A lot of you are just you're as lucky as your situation, and if your situation changed, that female would not be there. But I want to talk about the red pill man, and my situation is great, and your situation is not. You're a liar, sir, and we don't believe you. Your situation is not as great as you're saying it is. You're just a clown looking for attention. A lot of these guys lying about their marriage and relationship like it's so great when they probably argue with their wife and girlfriend all the time, and they wish they were single. Hold up. Let's see. I be seeing these guys trying to shame red pill men and some of you heifers, which is predictable. Y'all want to talk about red pill. You don't know the first thing about it. So keep your mouth shut about anything red pill related. You're letting these fake fraudulent individuals who use it and try to utilize it for their own whatever. And you think that that's what it is, and it's not. So if you don't understand it, keep your mouth shut and stop talking about what's red pill and what's not. A lot of you don't understand shit. Don't understand anything. I'm going to have to do some more teaching on what it is and what it's not. And a lot of you don't understand what it is. I'm seeing, like I said, I see you heifers. I see you males, you married males, and you dudes in relate. You talking all this shit talking about what's red pill and what isn't. You're not it. And heifer, you don't know what it is. So shut up. It's like me just telling you, I know the first thing about what women go through on a day-to-day basis with their bodies. I don't know the first thing about what goes on in a woman's body unless she tells me. So keep your mouth shut about what's red pill and what isn't when you don't know the first thing about it. It goes for you males and you heifers too. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You're out here looking to push some narrative for your delusional, idiotic audience. You can't save these heifers if they don't save themselves. Period. There's some of the stuff I be seeing, man. A lot of people don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They're lame. My marriage is great. My relationship is great. Good for you. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Jaye the Black?
Nothing much, man. What's up?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on with you?
I was just wondering. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. When you was talking about the guys, talking about the red pill, one person came to mind, Boyce Watkins.
Well, you know what's crazy? Somebody sent me a meme about Boyce Watkins. It's on my Twitter. Y'all might have seen it. About him in this situation. And listen, I'm not here to disparage other people because I think people will know the type of people I'm talking about without me having to say it because their lifestyle proves it. The things that they said has proven it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't want to stay on Boyce Watkins too long, but I remember I was watching something. It was like a little interview. Him and his wife were sitting down, and she said one key thing that was like a little startling. She said, "My kids like the way he provides for us." Basically, like she put a big spotlight on the material things that he could give them. I'm like, yikes.
Yeah.
Man, you better watch out.
Yeah, that's how they see you.
But I'm not gonna stay on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But what I wanted to say in regards to the video, and I'm gonna make it real short because I know you got to get to other people. The guy, he seems like he got excited because it probably was his first girl he probably ever got. That's what I'm thinking, just looking at it, because I don't know what man in his right mind, number one, want to get with a pregnant woman.
Right.
Number two, you doing all this for the kid. You've been watching a lot of Tyler Perry, hanging around with your mama and your aunties all day. But
yeah,
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. That's why I say I'm not here to attack him. I'm here to just talk to him and say, listen, bro, the red flags were there, you know?
Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to say in regards to that lady on the video, you had said something that made me think. You was like, she probably used to getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And yeah, she probably used to get a lot of attention. And, you know, she probably got pregnant by somebody who didn't want to be in a relationship with her.
Right.
And, you know, now that she's pregnant and a lot of people realize that, a lot of guys realize that, they don't want to deal with her no more because, you know, having kids really brings down your value.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking my call, and I enjoy your content.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right, man.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Take care. Yeah, man. I don't listen. Some of these women, man, you know, they feel like they're attractive enough to get other men. So they'll sleep with this one guy that they know they'll never be in a relationship with, but then they will date other men who they think will be in a relationship with them. That's the dilemma that a lot of women are in. A lot of women are in a dilemma of having relations with men that they know themselves will never be in a relationship with them. They understand that going into it. So what they'll do is they'll sleep with that man while they get courted by other men. This is why I tell y'all, a lot of the women that y'all pursue and try to date, a lot of times they'll say that they're single, but they're having relations with somebody. And those usually be the guys they end up getting pregnant by. Either these guys are married, either these guys are, you know, aren't in the best place socially, because a lot of these chicks be screwing broke men. They don't have a place to stay. And they're embarrassed by that because it doesn't fit their fake lifestyle on social media. That's why when these women get pregnant, you don't know who the father is because they're embarrassed. You know, they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed for people to know that they are dating literally bums. Not dating, excuse me. They're having relations with bums. They don't want y'all to know that. Shout out to Snake Eyes. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, Jay, this is Jasmine. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. Just here listening to your show.
Okay.
I gotta say, in my opinion,
nothing but average at best monkey face chicks with egos and over the top expectations in men that don't want them and never will.
Because it's guys, they think that they have to, you know, open up their wallet, spend the whole entire check on the first date. You know, because they feel like, hey, well, if I take her to a fancy place, you know, if I buy her flowers, if I do this for her, if I do that for her, she's going to like me. She's going to, fall in love with me, and she's going to want to be with me. And, you know, to a certain extent, the girl's going to, she's not going to like you. She's going to like your money.
Yeah.
She's going to like the places that you
That's why you have to be careful using your money to impress women, because they've seen it. They probably get men giving them money and gifts all the time, and you don't want to be put in that category.
Oh yeah,
you want to date women that actually want to be with you, not women that you have to, use your money in order to get into relationships with, with you or whatever it is you're trying to get,
Exactly. Like for me, in my opinion, I don't think that you should go broke on taking a woman out on a date at all, period. It doesn't matter how long you've been with her. You could been with her for 20 years. You know what I mean? And I don't think that you should still go out there and, use your whole entire check, to please her.
Right.
Because if she's not going to do the same thing for you,
oh no,
why should you keep doing that for her?
Because man, she sees you as a lick. You're a sucker. A lot of these guys don't see that until it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Like this guy in this video.
Uh-huh.
I feel like she was using this man for his money from day one. He just didn't see it. You know what I mean? He finally realized. The good thing is he didn't realize it to where like the kid was not 15 years old. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I gotta say, and I keep saying this over and over, these guys need to open up their eyes. Stop going for the body. Stop going for, she likes me because I take her places, or she hits me up because I take her wherever she wants.
Yeah.
Like, no. If someone's interested in you, they're gonna show you whether you do things for them or not.
Yeah, women who like you are aggressive. Like they'll pursue you in a sense, right? They will give you signals that they are interested.
Exactly.
But a lot of times, a guy will like a woman to the point to where he goes above and beyond to get her attention. Say, hey, I give you my whole tax return. First off, if she really cared about you, she wouldn't have accepted it. She would have said, wait a minute, why would you give me, that's crazy. Why'd you do that?
Exactly. I feel like, people view the relationship between two people the wrong way. You know what I mean? They feel like, okay, well, I have to do this for him, or I have to do this for her. No, like, you do for yourself. And yes, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything for your significant other. But what I'm saying is, no one should be going broke to show somebody else that they love them,
right,
or that they want to be with that person.
Yeah, you should. You should never pay for somebody's love. It never works out.
Exactly. And I feel like that's why there's so many women out there who have that type of mentality. Well, if he loves me, he'll buy me things. If he loves me, he'll take me places. You know what I mean? And in reality, I feel like to a certain extent, it's the man's fault that these women have that type of mentality.
Well, I will say this though. Times have it's not just men in a sense. It's the way we see women in society. We're uplifting the woman. We're talking about how powerful she is and how smart she is and how creative. Like it's the media plays a big part into how they push women, and they say we need to embrace women in this way, that way. The fact that social media, women are over sexualized by their own doing, and men do fall into it, and that's why you see pushback on men saying stop it, to stop doing that, and to not pedestalize these women. You don't have to spend money on the women. If you have to spend money on a woman like that, then that shouldn't be your woman. Then she's somebody that you're paying for their time, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely do agree with you. Like I said, like you're saying right now, like you should never be wasting your money for someone else's attention. Period. And I agree. Also, too, I feel like like I was saying, if someone's interested in you, they're gonna show you regardless whether you do things for them or not.
Right.
And we all need to have that. I think the big problem, in my opinion, I feel like these women have adopted the mentality of men like back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, well, if a man can do anything, well, a woman can do it too.
Right. They say it. Women say it. Women say, if men can sleep with a bunch of women, why can't women sleep with a bunch of men? I'm like, why would you want to?
But that's where they're wrong, though. If they want to adopt the mentality of a man, then hey, if a man can go out there and bust his ass, sorry for cursing, if a man can go out there and bust his behind working from sun up to sundown, well, why don't you take that for yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to go get me a job where I'm working from sun up to sundown. You know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take care of my business.
Right.
Why adopt the mentality of a man, but for the wrong reasons?
Well, that's what we are. Yeah. It's a different time, man. That's why we have to vet people. Don't just look at the outward appearance of somebody and No, you have to really do your homework if you're gonna be putting money and cutting in biblical cords and day one taking care of somebody else's child, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I think too, like, certain women like to brag about, oh, well, I got all these dudes paying my bills, and they're doing this for me. This guy paying this, and this other guy's paying that. You should go get you some sugar daddies. And then now they're over there competing with each other. Like, oh, well, you have 3 dudes paying stuff for you. Well, I got 6. And it's like, okay, like, get your head in the game straight, like. Especially when you have kids, what are you teaching your kids? You're teaching your kids to be even worse than what you are doing right now.
All right. Well, that's the thing is we society has changed so much. We don't raise our children anymore. The government does that basically, or social media, and we really don't. Like I did like a Patreon exclusive on a girl that was a 20-year-old girl in court suing her boyfriend because he stole money from her that she took out the bank and counted with him, left him in her house. So he took her money and left, and she's calling it theft now, but is still sleeping with him, like,
yeah,
and he has, and he's like the typical bad boy she met on Tinder, right? Met him off the internet. 2 weeks later, he's in her house. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
I just think that it's a lot of poor decision. Her mother was there. Her mother was just as goofy as she is, laughing, joking like it wasn't a big deal. That's how these girls are being raised, man. And they just do whatever, and it's like there's no discipline there, and it's just sort of like they're just out for themselves almost, and they don't have anybody to really tell them the truth anymore. Well, until now, that's why you're seeing the heavy pushback.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate you taking my call. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your show.
All right, Jazzy, thanks for the call. All right?
No problem.
All right. Shout out to everybody that's here. I'm telling you, man, they have flipped society. When I see what's going on in Afghanistan, right? And all the shit that they have going on over here, they try to push that in a Muslim country, right? All these women's studies, all this feminism that has ruined this country. They're trying to push this in other countries. They're trying to push the same bullshit over here in other countries, man. To ruin the women, to ruin the family. Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man? It's Samurai Will.
What's going on, Samurai?
Man, chilling, man. It's a crazy topic, man. Like, just the fact that you was down that bad to where you got to go try to date a pregnant woman is insane.
Yeah, and then there was somebody in the chat saying, well, he didn't get with her while she was pregnant. Sir, he cut the umbilical cord. That means they were together.
Yeah. Before
she had the child.
Yeah, because when you played the video, I caught that too. I said to myself, I said, hold up. You cut the, so you was with her when her belly was up. I'm like, you're a sicko.
Yep.
And but breaking it down to what you were saying in the last convo, last time I spoke with you, I told you I went down and I started dating an 18-year-old, and I experienced that, and when I really realized now, bro. Well, I mean, we knew this, but bro, the mental game in these females, their mental is destroyed.
Yeah.
Their mental is destroyed. It's a wrap. I think we need to let 5 years go by to just see what the playing field is like. We gotta let them suffer for 5 years, and then we get back out there and see where they head at. We gotta let them suffer for 5 years because it's bad. But my thing for anybody that's out there right now, you really want to know what a woman is about, bro? Ask her to do some stuff. Put her to work as soon as you start dating her. Ask her, like, look, I need this. Can you do this? That's when she's gonna show you her true colors. Ask her to do something, bro. That's all you have to do. Because a lot of these women, they'll be around. They'll tell you that they love you and this and that. But the moment you ask them to do something, they really start to show out.
Yeah.
We just gotta we gotta put them to work, bro. That's the only way you're gonna find out if they really rocking with you.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the selfish culture, man. Like these millennials and Gen Z, Like these women, again, they're raised off social media, so they want to be like the women that they see, and they develop their personalities. All right, they don't, they develop that selfish, me first, gold diggers type mindset, dating the wrong type of
Yeah,
men.
Their whole dialogue comes like directly off of Twitter, which is very weird. It's like, where's your social skills?
Yeah, they're on social media. Yeah, they're on social media all day, man. Like they live on social media, and it was like this back in 2012, 2013. So I can only imagine how it is now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw that idea out there. Y'all can figure that out, man. 5 years lapse. Let 5 years lapse. Let them just sit out there and then come back and see if the coast is clear. So think about that, man. 5 years, let it lapse, and then we'll come back and see if the coast is clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go back in the chat, man. Great stream for sure.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to Samurai Will with the call in. All right. Yo, it was bad 7, 8 years ago on social media. Like I said, I can only imagine how it is now. They wake up every day. They go to sleep. They're on some live stream. They wake up. They're on some live stream. They're on the live stream until they fall asleep. They wake up. They're still on the live stream. They go check their IG notifications. Before they even check their text message, they check their social media, Facebook. They go to see what was said in some Facebook group, or that's what they do, man. Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, Jay? It's Robert, man.
What's good, Robert?
Nothing much, man. I heard the conversation you and Jasmine just had. You know, she's always preaching. But I wanted to share a real quick story with you and everybody in the chat.
Okay.
Relates to what was going on. So I have a friend who's a doctor. He's a surgeon. And a couple of years ago, as he was finishing up his residency, one of his co-residents got involved with a single mom, similar to the dude in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Got involved with her, and he became an attendant. Started making that real doctor money after he finished his fellowship and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got her pregnant, and you can pretty much guess what happened after he got her pregnant. Because after that, they got divorced about a year and a half later.
Mm.
Now she says it's because he worked too much.
Oh man, should have known that.
But
should have known that.
She said, "Oh well, he was always gone. He was too busy. He never had time for me." Now, as soon as she gets divorced, she's out there on the streets, doing God knows what.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is having to pay. And he lives in the state. They live in a state where there's alimony, so he has to pay child support plus alimony.
Wow.
And he's a surgeon too, so so that you just imagine how expensive that gets for him. And he's still paying his medical school debt. So, and the saddest thing, my friend, he told me, he said, "You know what, Robert? I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't even want to date out here no more. I don't want to deal with these women out here." He goes, "I don't want to ever take the chance of being with a woman and have to be thinking in the back of my mind, is she with me because of me, or is she with me because of my money?" And it's so sad. Like, this dude is almost 40 now, and he refuses to date. I mean, sometimes what he'll do, he'll meet a woman. And he'll just tell her they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" He'll say like, I wear scrubs. I work as a cleaning guy. I'm a custodian in the hospital." Or he'll say like, I'm one of the medical transcriptionists. I mean, he'll just make stuff up because he's so scared to have that thought in his mind of, is she with me for me or is she with me for this money? And he sees what all the other surgeons go through. I mean, there's another surgeon on his team. This guy's been divorced twice, paying 2 alimonies. Child support for multiple kids. I mean, he's basically broke. He has to work almost every single day just to break even. So it's tough out here. I mean, these guys are doctors. So just imagine what regular guys like ourselves, like me, you, and the guys in the chat, just imagine what we go through or what we could be end up going through if we choose the wrong woman.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's not a celebrity. He's not a rapper or an athlete. Like they like to get on YouTube and put out there. Oh, y'all talking about athletes. That's not an athlete. That's a doctor that just works a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's not no celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine you as men, we're very logical thinkers. And you think you work hard. You go high school, college. And in his case, 4 years of medical school, 5-year residency, 3-year fellowship. You do all that, and for what? In the end, you got to pay alimony and child support. It's like, I mean, he just. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's told me, he's like, I don't care if y'all call me scared or a punk. Y'all can call me a punk if y'all want to, but I'm scared to go out here and date.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Robert, because there's a Rennie put this in the chat. She says, there any single female surgeons that he could date in his field?
I mean, he's one of those guys. I mean, he's told me in the past, like, he tries not to, he don't want to mix business and work, just because. I mean, there are, and I've told him, like, there's some pretty girls in your field, but he's one of those guys, he would rather keep business separate from pleasure.
Right. I hear
backfire.
I hear you. Yeah.
But I mean, I've told him, dude, you might have to just date another doctor. I think that's just, what it's gonna have to be, because I think
and they don't have to be at the same, they don't have to be in the same
exactly,
place as him. They could be somewhere else,
Exactly. Like, because like I said, I've told them, like, I don't know if you can date like a teacher or a hairstylist, some of these women that make far less, because that's gonna be in your mind. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a teacher, and I'm gonna be honest with all y'all. Teachers are some of the biggest gold diggers you'll ever meet, man. These chicks at these schools, these man. I don't want to hold up your chat with all the stories. I'll say that for another chat, for another video. But these women in these classrooms, man, you want to talk about gold diggers, like women searching for the bag.
Wow,
it's great. Hairstylists, women who do hair and nails. That's another group right there. Nurses, but I don't want to hold up your line because I know there's other people trying to call. I just want to share that story with you guys and just, get y'all's thoughts on that story.
Okay.
But y'all have a good night.
All right. Appreciate it, Robert. You too. All right.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Night.
All right. Shout out to Robert to call in. Yeah. Like if you have a career where you work a lot, sometimes you may have to meet women in that same field. And maybe not exactly where you're at, but somebody that works, has a career, just like you, maybe it'll work because both of y'all have different schedules to where she's not just sitting at home watching Love and Hip Hop all day and on Instagram and looking at what kind of life she wants to have. She don't want to be with no doctor. She wants to be the ex-wife of a doctor. I mean, that's how these women think, man. They want to get the bag and get out of there. They want to be in the streets. A lot of these women want to be in the streets, man, unfortunately. But they blame us. Y'all want to blame content creators for why y'all can't get a man. Listen, hold on to your bags. To all the men. Hold on. I'm doing a mic check real quick. All right. To all the men, hold on to your bags, man. Hold on to your money. Don't let these women shame you and talk about you too cheap. Don't listen to them. Once they get into your pockets, they never want to leave until they leave you. Okay? They'll keep them out of your pockets, If you want to be cheap, be as cheap as you want to be. Because they just as broke and destitute themselves, but they're faking a lifestyle, like what goes on a lot. They fake lifestyles. They're not really living the lifestyle they claim anyway. So tell them to get out of your pockets and go produce their own money. We in an equal society, right? So go be equal. Oh, okay. Robert says, I forgot to add that the friend that got divorced from the single mom, the doctor, was Latino, and the single mother was black. So that makes it even worse. So he was a Latino doctor with a he saw, listen, I don't know your friend, but man, he probably seen that. He probably was looking good, thick. Saw that big asset and said, screw it. But yeah, that makes it worse, man. I think black single mothers have a really bad reputation that they always live up to. Everybody always say the same thing about black single mothers. They make it seem like it's only us as black men saying this. No, everybody says it. We all say it. Everybody say it. Everybody got something to say about these black single mothers. We ain't the only ones. Every other race got a story. Like, come on, man. I knew a black woman, right? She was married to this Caucasian guy. She had a couple kids by him. She was with him for years, and she had all these problems. I think she may have had problems with substances, maybe, but she got her life on track. And then she hit me up. This had to be in 2015. She's like, "Oh, I'm a fan of your videos and all this." And she says, "I'm a pro-black woman, but I'm in this mixed marriage, but I don't really love him. I don't really want to be with him, but I'm with him. Got these almost grown biracial children, but I really don't want to be with him like that, but I'm pro-black." That's what she was saying. I'm Afrocentric. We preach blackness in my home, right? And I think she might have, because I think she was on the verge of leaving him, right? And I think she was working up the nerve to do it.
On Buddha, the main question I ask women is if men are the blame for everything in a relationship from start to finish, why would I get in one? Number one has an answer: rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor,
Right.
laughing.
But Zeke, they will shame you if you're not in one. You know? They'll shame you. That it really, the only benefit of getting into a relationship is if you're with a woman that you really feel deep down is somebody that's one of a kind, is somebody that's there to be your woman. She's not there to lead you. She's not there to show you how to do this and that, or she's not there to, kill time or just to have fun with. She wants to be your woman. She genuinely wants to be with you. A lot of times it's very rare to find it because these women are so selfish. They want you to do for them. But if you're a man of substance, you're a man who's building, you have money and resources. You don't have time for that shit. Time for a woman trying to come in and tell you how to do your, everything that's going in your life, and you're more successful than her, right? You have less mental baggage, right? But yeah, like I was saying, like and again, she had a horrible past, right? She dealt with abuse and all this at a younger age, and then she had this mentality that she hated black men. She got with this Caucasian guy, had these biracial children, but then she got older and sort of wanted to go back to loving black men. Like she almost like she was working up the nerve to leave, right? You got to understand that these black women have been scarred. Not all of them, but there are a lot of them that have. It depends on how you deal with that trauma. Everybody has trauma. It's how you deal with it. I think that therapy is the number one thing that a lot of us need. We need therapy, but we don't go to it. We go to everything else. We think that we can fill that void with everything else, right? And we can't. We can't. We fill that void by accepting and loving who we are. And it's hard for some people to do, right? It's hard for some people to accept and love themselves. All right. Shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream. Shout out to everybody that's here. I think I've said enough, man. I think I've said enough. Nothing more to really say. Shout out to the callers. Shout out to the people that donated. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't. Subscribe to the Patreon, people. I'm putting exclusive content up there. I got it pinned in the chat room. Make sure y'all go and check out the video content. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can email me video topics, or you can send it to me on Instagram, or you can tag me on Twitter. But don't just tag me in anything, man. Tag me in stuff that you genuinely believe should be video content. Like when y'all be sending me somebody's tweet, like, what you want me to do with that? Y'all got to send me stuff that's like, oh my God, you got to speak on this, like type shit, If somebody just had an unpopular opinion, then, that's their opinion. There's nothing I can say about that. But I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to the moderators and the channel members. You can become a channel member too by clicking the join button. Why not? Why not click the join button? All right. Okay, people. Y'all have a good rest of your night. And I'll see y'all on the next one.